So mine, I don't. Let's go ahead and call our meeting to order. Who are we waiting on? Okay, last month, the beginning of the meeting was cut off, so I'd like to repeat that part, mainly just to show the family that we care about them and we wanted to acknowledge it on camera. So our community has suffered a tremendous loss. Dylan Joyce Ridenauer was a true shining star. She helped lead retreats for the Teen Encounter Christ community. Dylan graduated from Fontainebleau High School with honors and as a member of the National Honor Society in 2024. She was captain of both the swim team and the track and field team. Coming out of high school, she was deemed as one of the best pole vaulters in the state of Louisiana. Dylan attended Louisiana State University and made the dean's list. She was also a member of the LSU track and field team as a pole vaulter. When I was at the service last month, there must have been over 1,000 people there. I cannot imagine how the family must feel. Truly, truly a tragedy for our parish. Ms. Tanner?
Thank you. On Tuesday, the St. Tammany community was able to pay their respects to an outstanding officer, a great human being, and District 6 resident, St. Tammany Parish Sheriff Sergeant Grant Candies. Our thoughts and prayers are with his wife, 2 children, and his entire family. Sergeant Candies died in the line of duty when his vehicle was struck during a high-speed chase. We must never forget the sacrifices our law enforcement officers and their families met to keep the St. Tammany Parish safe. Please join me in remembering and supporting the Candies family.
Very well said. Ms. Casabon, would you please lead us in the invocation?
Press your button, please.
Okay. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for your many blessings that you've bestowed on us in this parish. Continue to lead and guide us in everything that we do, think, and say. And Lord, I lift up these families that have lost loved ones, that you will protect them, help them through this time. And again, Lord, help us with the decisions that we make for this parish, that they're the best for all concerned. Thank you again for your many blessings. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Ms. Tanner, will you lead us in the pledge?
I think we have a junior.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
And he's a golfer, too?
Yes.
Mr. Wyatt Bender, would you please lead us in the pledge, sir?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Mr. Smith? Here. Mr. Rowling?
Here.
Ms. Casabon?
Here.
Ms. Seiden?
Here.
Mr. Phillips?
Here.
Ms. Tanner?
Here.
Mr. Impastato?
Here.
Mr. Burke? Here. Mr. Kugel? Here. Ms. O'Brien? Here. Mr. Lachlan? Here. Mr. Bender? Here. Mr. Corbin? And Mr. Strickland? Here. We have a quorum.
Ms. Tanner?
Okay, I'm taking a moment tonight. Although Mr. Strickland and I are here at this meeting, our hearts are at North Shore High School, where North Shore High is playing Fontainebleau High School tonight in baseball. Hoorah. Jimmy's grandson is playing for North Shore, and my grandson is playing for Fontainebleau. We wish them all good luck, but we're going to beat you, Jimmy.
Is he? Well, speaking of the superintendent, he has another meeting to attend tonight, so let's get him up. What's that? You can go ahead and come up, and I'm going to read the public comments while you're preparing. I know you have to go. So public comment is a 3-minute time limit established for each member of the public wishing to speak for or against an item on the agenda, except appeals. You must submit the comment card prior to the commencement of discussion on the agenda item if you would like to speak on that item. To ensure that all speakers are heard, please hold cheers and applause. Anyone who wishes to place a comment in the record but who does not wish to speak at the podium may fill out a speaker card and check the box by indicating that they do not wish to speak. Please point out the comment cards and where they are so everybody can see. Right over there in the front table. Mr. Jabbia, you have the floor.
Appreciate you guys tonight. Just y'all are getting me out of my own board meeting, so I appreciate that. Well, we'll go till midnight, so I have plenty of time to get there. So no, but thank y'all very much. I want to just spend a few minutes with you tonight to go through. We have a capital improvement plan that is coming up on the ballot this month. So it'll be early voting. Will start on the 19th of April and run for a week, and then it'll be on the general election ballot for May the 3rd. Y'all are, I've been making my rounds around every school and around all of our sites, so y'all are presentation number 55 of 70. So I am making progress. And again, I just want to thank you guys for allowing me to be here tonight. Our capital improvement plan, of course, it is a millage renewal. We are asking the public to please allow us to continue to use what is set aside for debt services as a part of the millage that's collected for St. Tammany Parish Public Schools. I would never bring you guys a new tax. I think we're all aware of the amount of taxes we all pay. But it is a renewal of a tax, debt services, where we look to use our property taxes to make sure that we can meet the needs of our students and our community. Just very quickly, school system gets 4 buckets of money. Okay, first bucket, MFP dollars, the state dollars for every child that comes in. Every school in Louisiana gets that. Second bucket is a piece of sales tax. Third bucket is a piece of property tax. Fourth bucket is federal funds. We have to bring a capital improvement plan every 5 or 6 years to the voters of St. Tammany, because monies from the state and monies from federal can only be used to educate children. That means whether it's delivering services, paying the salaries of our teachers, purchasing curriculum, purchasing resources. That's all that federal money and state money can be used for, is to educate our children. The locals supply the facilities. The locals allow us to pay our custodians, our own maintenance people. It pays everything to deal with upkeep, renovations, remodeling, tearing down buildings, building new structures. That is all paid by the locals. So as you go visit other schools, as Mr. Strickland and Ms. Tanner talked about earlier, as you go visit schools outside of St. Tammany, look at it with that lens. The locals pay the facilities, build the facilities. So when you go visit other school systems, look at what is prioritized, what's not prioritized, what the public says is important to them, what's not important to them. Think about it from that lens, and it'll give you a better perspective on what we have to do as a school system moving forward to make sure that we meet the needs of our students. It is absolutely zero tax increase. It'll be not 1 penny increase to the current taxes that we currently pay. We're just asking the public, can we please continue to use what is designated as debt services to continue to work on the infrastructure of St. Tammany Parish Public Schools? Very quickly, we have 55 schools, 36,400 students, and about right at 6,000 employees. What I'm extremely proud about and what we take a whole lot of pride in is how our students perform. This year's senior class of 2024, was the #1 ACT score in the entire state of Louisiana. Remember now, I'm telling you, that is, thank you. If you know, every kid in St. Tammany Parish Public Schools and around the state, every graduate has to take the ACT. If you are earning a traditional diploma, you must take the ACT before you graduate. We averaged a 20.5 on the ACT. People talk about Central and Zachary and Livingston and Ascension. We beat all of them. Our students outperformed them with a 20.5, which means on average, every kid was TOPS eligible. In St. Tammany Parish, to over 2,500 graduates, every kid on average was TOPS eligible. What does TOPS mean? TOPS is money. ACT is money. It's money for our families, money for our kids. It's free tuition, and we take a huge amount of pride in that. We also are the #1 large district performing in the state of Louisiana. That is for, when you read that stat, that is for school systems that have 25,000 or more students. We not only are #1, we beat the majority of them by 10 points. Our kids outperform people around the state, but you cannot compare a school system with 36,000 students to a school system with 2,000 and 3,000 that has one feeder school for elementary, one for middle, one for junior high, one for high school. That's just not an accurate comparison. As you all represent districts from around this parish, y'all know the diversity, the needs, whether it be from Slidell to Covington and Mandeville up to Bush, Folsom. Those communities are so different and they're so diverse, and our job is to educate those kids to the best of their ability. As you can see, some of the capital improvement plans we've done in the past, we've added SROs and MHPs, that's mental health providers. We're terrible in education. We use acronyms for everything, and I apologize. Our school resource officers, our MHPs, all of our cameras, all of our embedded safety and security features. Also, I don't know what we would do without one-to-one Chromebooks. We have one-to-one devices for all of our students, and that is a tremendous asset to our community. And all 15 large capital improvement projects from the 2019 capital improvement plan are completely finished and done. When we promise the public we're going to do something with their public taxpayer money, we deliver on all those promises. Just very quickly, I'm going to run through the capital improvement plan for you guys, just so you can understand. The first thing we start with is security. If there was something I could throw over every school that said, okay, y'all are safe. With this apparatus, you are safe. That doesn't exist. What do we have? We have layers of protection. From our SROs, our MHPs, to a nurse at every site, all the way to our P25 radio. We have a police radio that every administrator carries that's directly connected to law enforcement and to my office. And if they hit that panic button that these officers know about, if you hit that orange panic button on top, the cavalry is coming to every campus in St. Tammany Parish. So again, it's layers of protection. It's the protection from our intercoms, our alarms, everything that we have. We have all badge pass system that you guys have here in this building so that everybody can move around the campus safely with our own people. At the front desk at every school, we have a badge pass system that we scan any visitor or family member in, and that runs against the sexual database to make sure that we don't have a known sex offender that's trying to enter our school campus. All those things are layers of protection. Our buses. We are moving to a school board-owned fleet. It is economically responsible. What we have to pay for operation of school buses by law doesn't meet the expectations that we have. We can service our own buses, but we need our owner-operators to operate. But as those individuals retire, as they retire their buses, we're moving to a school board-owned fleet because it is financially responsible. We will recoup $3 to $5 million a year with a school board-owned fleet that goes back in the general fund so that our board can offer pay raises to our employees, which is extremely important. Next is advanced technology. Like I said, if we learned anything from COVID, it's we can't do without technology. We could not have been able to open our schools without technology. We've got to continue to do that. It's extremely expensive. As you all know, technology at 55 sites, 70 total, 55 schools is extremely expensive. We've got to keep up with the times. Google Classroom is something that we can't operate without. Our teachers rely on it, but also our schools. That's how our grade levels share information among teachers. Our subject areas, that's how we communicate. We call them PLCs, professional learning communities. That's like a faculty meeting inside of a school. We can do a lot. We can share information to where our teachers work smarter, not harder. And we use those kind of technologies to do it. We've got to continue to do that. But Microsoft runs our school system. Outlook and all of the protections, the embedded filters that are in our system that stop students from searching something they should not be looking at, those things are in place, but it's very expensive. I told you 6,000 employees, 6,000 emails. No, every student has an employee address. 43,000 email addresses to keep secure and system of filtration. So those two things are very expensive. Those first two things I talked about is $44 million to this next bond issue, 44. But this next slide is the Mac Daddy slide. That is the slide of all slides. This slide is $251 million. This is 23 campuses will get remodel, renovation, a redo, new classrooms built, old school portables torn down. 23 campuses are going to be addressed. Y'all, we've got to make sure that equity is addressed across our campus. We have campuses around this district. Unfortunately, I was a principal. When COVID hit 2020, I was a principal at North Shore. Go Panthers, Jimmy. And so we just, sorry, Miss Cheryl. But we have got to address our campuses. We have campuses that have not been addressed since the 60s, truly addressed since the 60s. We've got to do those. We have campuses that young men still use the restroom. I'm going to be very descriptive, in a urinal trough. They still in the bathroom. Those kind of things, we've got to fix that. We've got to go in and take a hard look at our campuses, which I did, and we're going to address those. 23 campuses are going to get major addressed. Also, there'll be no old school portables left on our campuses. Those will all be replaced. They'll either be absorbed inside the school with a reconfiguration, or there'll be new classrooms built so that we can get those buildings off our campuses. So we're really excited about that. But what we're really excited about is what St. Tammany Parish Core, our economic development engine, with all of our partners from St. Tammany Parish Health Systems to Ochsner to Slaughter Memorial to Chevron, everyone, North Shore Business, everyone is behind the STEM and Healthcare Center, Discovery Center. We own property. We've owned property next to North Shore Technical for over 20 years. It's time that we use that property, and finally we have the ability to do that. Our high schools are moving to a 4x4 block system next year. We've been on a straight 7, which means kids earn 7 credits a year times 4 years, 28 credits. Now we're moving to a 4x4, 8 credits a year, hour-and-a-half classes for 32 Carnegie units. For those of you who don't know, the school system pays for every child in St. Tammany can earn 12 dual enrollment credits, whether it be curriculum-based or CTE-based. For every child. That is free of charge to every child in St. Tammany. This facility lets us use our own buses. We use our own buses. Every school in St. Tammany, all 8 high schools, will have access to this building. They will not have to unenroll from their high school. 2 hours of the day, if they so choose, would be spent at the Discovery Center. They can still play athletics, band, cheer, be in music, be in plays, be in every organization. But what this does is I cannot put healthcare, state-of-the-art healthcare and STEM at 8 high schools. That's not economically responsible. Nor do I have the staff to staff 8 high schools with this kind of facility. But what I can do is take our best people that do this around our district and put them at one facility, and with our 4 partners that I mentioned, outfit these facilities and do state-of-the-art technical and set kids up for success. I'm all about kids. If y'all know, most of you do know me, I'm all about kids. That's why I'm in this profession. I am not a politician. I am a teacher. I am a certified math, health, and PE teacher. That's what I do. I love kids. I got into this profession to coach and teach. This is all about doing right for kids. We're going to do right for kids. So we're going to provide this to them at free of charge, provide them everything that they need to get there, get back. They don't have to unenroll. This would be 2 hours, 2 blocks of their day in the spring and the fall. And what we have the ability to do is what I've told Joan Kaufman, what I've told Will Wainwright, what I've told Jim Carlson and the entire team. When a kid walks across stage at St. Tammany Parish in just a few short years, we will be able to shake their hand and say, congratulations, you got a high school diploma. Oh, and by the way, you earned your associate degree at the same time. At the same time. Now we're setting kids up for success. Now kids can go directly into the workforce and earn high-wage, high-demand jobs right now. They don't have to wait. If we learned anything from COVID, we learned that a 4-year degree is very important in certain fields, absolutely. But we have a lot of kids who waste a lot of money and sacrifice a whole lot when an associate degree would set them up for success in a job, in a high-demand, high-wage job. So I'm sorry, I get a little fired up. I'm a high school guy, so I get a little fired up. But I'm all about doing right for kids. We've got to stop thinking about right now and, okay, what do we have to do right now? We need to start thinking 5 years down the road at this center when it's fully up and running with our partners and what we're doing for kids. Y'all, our graduates are leaving St. Tammany Parish, all of our schools. I see some students here from our private partners. They are leaving our campuses and they're being recruited by, unfortunately, I hate to say this word, Alabama and Mississippi State, but they are leaving at a rapid rate and they're not coming back. But if we can make those connections at this center with our partners, with Oshner, St. Tammany Parish Health Systems, with Chevron, if we can make those connections and bring those kids back when they're done, so they've got those connections, they've got something built already, we can set them up for success and we can keep St. Tammany thriving. And so that's my goal, to do that. I've just got a couple slides left and I'm going to get out of y'all's way. This is a slide I share with people, all of my leadership groups I meet with, and I meet with leadership groups all the time. This is what St. Tammany Parish Public Schools do for the school system. Overall, St. Tammany Parish Public Schools give this community a higher quality of life. We do that because we can offer a high quality education to every student. Is St. Tammany Parish the only choice for parents? Absolutely not. Because of religion, because students need a certain setting or a placement, parents have to do what they have to do. They have to make the best decision for their child, and I completely support that. But when you look at the parish of St. Tammany, what we do for kids is unbelievable. From our gifted kids to our students with exceptionalities and the entire gamut. We do a tremendous job for kids, and we want to keep doing that. But I'm going to tell you what I tell the business community and all those leaderships that I meet with. You see that slide right there? You look around, you look at the news, you watch the news, read the newspaper. You show me a community that's failing. You show me a community that doesn't trust their neighbors, don't feel safe going out at certain times of the day, don't want to go to festivals or parades that we just had because they're scared. You show me a failing community and I'll show you a failing public school system. Every time. Every time. So if we lose the trust, the public trust in our school system, St. Tammany Parish will lose the backbone of this community. And because we can educate, parents have a choice in education. We provide a tremendous service to our community and to our kids. So I just want you guys to think about that. Again, we're on the ballot. Early voting starts April 19th. As the superintendent, I cannot instruct anybody. As President Cooper knows, I can't say anything. All I can say is go vote. I can't use my own platform. I can't use my own Facebook page, nothing. When I meet with employees, all I can say is go vote. All I'm asking you guys to do, and the public tonight that's listening to this, please go vote. Please think about the public system and just go vote. So, Councilman,
Great presentation.
I appreciate
Very
it.
educational.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all very much.
And there are some questions from the council members.
Sure, absolutely.
Ms. Kazenbaum.
I just want to say I support you. I am a product, 36 years in public school, but I've seen it come a long way. Because when my mother worked at the school board, it was 26 schools and maybe 2 high schools,
Yes,
or
ma'am.
3. But every bond issue that's come up, that you have done what you said you were going to do with the money, and that meant so much to my parents' generation, and I've seen it. In fact, like I said, for the 36 years I taught, and now been retired for about 15. So that's to y'all's credit. Everything that you say you're asking for, the school board has always been able to deliver.
Yes, ma'am.
And anything that I can do to help, I'm there for you.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Ms. Tanner?
Yes, Pete, thank you so much for that. Richard Tanner would be very proud of you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'm here because of him. So
You're
yes,
getting
ma'am.
rid of portables,
Yes, ma'am.
and also you have decided everyone does not have to go to college. There's other professors, other things they can go into, and that's what he always believed in.
Yes, ma'am.
Was not everyone's meant to go to college, but they can get the training to
Yes.
make a good living.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you. Mr. Richer was a huge advocate for CTE, Career Technical Education, huge advocate. As a former ag teacher, he knew what that was all about. So yes, ma'am, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Mr. Kugel.
Thank you for your presentation.
Yes, thank you, Mr.
Just
Kugel.
on my colleague, Ms. Tanner's comment about, I know, you may know that I'm working with Ms. Strataberger and some
Yes.
others about the
Yes.
water and wastewater
Yes, sir.
workforce training at Pearl
Public
River
Works.
High in
Yes,
that
sir.
area. I did have one question, and I've become a little bit more familiar with the way that the security posture is in SROs, and
Yes.
they do a great job keeping our kids safe and
Yes, sir.
teachers safe. One of the questions I have received is just about bus driver security and
Yes.
security on buses.
Sure.
There's so many buses, you're not going to be able to have an SRO in those. I completely understand that. But do you have any thoughts on just making sure bus drivers and kids feel safe on the buses?
Sure. It is a difficult thing to do. There's no way that we can put a bus attendant on every bus. I wish we could. But yeah, they are connected to the radios. They are connected to what I talked about, the P25 radio. They have the ability to summon help immediately. So that is something that we are addressing. We have cameras on every bus. We can see everything that's going on. We can review that footage and take the proper action. What we rely on is each other, them reporting, and then getting someone there from law enforcement as quick as possible. But it is definitely, Ms. Cougar, is definitely an issue that I wish I had the magic sauce to fix that. But unfortunately, we're all at the whim of the public and people that make poor decisions at times. And unfortunately, as a bus driver, they are too.
And the last thing is, last year, me and Mr. Shane actually went to the facility on TJ Smith Expressway.
Yes, sir.
That's mine and Mr. Strickland's
Yes, sir.
district. What's the status of that in the plan? I know they're going to possibly.
We're in there.
Okay, are
we're
you
in
gonna
the facility. We are in the facility. We're working on buses. We're servicing our own buses there, and maintenance is working out there also.
And
we are very happy to have that facility.
And you're going to start being able to have, instead of kids having to go from the high school for some trade classes, they're going to be able to go there?
Correct. That complete building was outfitted with tremendous welding capabilities.
Right.
So yes, part of this is to start transitioning a lot of our welding students to that facility and using our instructors there, because it is a
huge.
beautiful facility.
It is.
It's a beautiful facility. And we're also, the sheriff has moved out of Pearl River Junior High, and our maintenance department and the rec are going to be using that facility. I've already talked with Skip Phillips and all that, and we're going to put that gym to good use. So we're excited about that in the next month or so. Yes, sir. You got it. Thank you.
One more question, and we'll let you go.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Rowling.
Thank you, sir, for being here. We appreciate it very much. We appreciate your leadership in St. Tammany Parish. I do have one question. Are you prepared for the marathon of graduations right around the corner?
It is a marathon, so 8 graduations in 7 days.
I don't know how you do it.
It is. I'll tell you what, as tough as that is as far as like just length and doing that, to be able to shake every one of those 2,500 graduates' hands and to hear the cheers, and I'm sure most of y'all have been to graduation, to hear the horns blowing, and it is amazing. But yes, sir, I'm excited.
We appreciate you, and go out to vote, everybody.
Yes, sir.
It's important.
Thank you, Mr. Rowland. Thank y'all so much. Mr. Empresario, thank you very much.
Gabby,
Thank you.
Thank you. You are one heck of a teacher.
Thank you.
Thank you
I
for
was
being
hoping
here.
y'all would keep me here a little longer, but I guess I got to go to my meeting. I'm just kidding. Thank
Get
y'all
outta
so
here.
much. I really appreciate
Thank you.
it. Thanks for your time.
All right, next in our presentations, Parish President Cooper.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here this evening in my first presentation, for which I do every month, is acknowledging one of our employees as Employee of the Month. And this evening I have the honor of introducing Miss Eva Hunter of the Finance Department. Miss Eva, would you come up here while I read this to you? So whereas Eva Hunter joined St. Tammany Parish government on May 29th, 2001 as a finance technician. She was promoted within the finance department a year later, and then again in August of 2023 to accounting technician 2, the role in which she continues to serve today. And whereas Eva's daily responsibilities include working closely with all departments to ensure that vendors are paid promptly and accurately, she efficiently processes and tracks utility billings, jury payments, and all direct payment requests. And whereas Eva approaches her responsibilities in accounts payable with diligence and precision, processing thousands of invoices and payment requests with accuracy and professionalism. And whereas Eva is always willing to assist other departments with accounts payable inquiries ensuring prompt and effective resolution of issues. She also serves as a mentor and provides essential training on the proper use and capabilities of our financial software. And whereas Eva is described by her coworkers as being a pleasure to work with, and her dedication, expertise, and her unwavering commitment truly make her a deserving recipient of this honor and an invaluable asset to Team Tammany. Now therefore I, Michael B. Cooper, as parish president of this great parish, do hereby recognize the hard work, outstanding service, and accomplishments of Ms. Eva Hunter as Employee of the Month, April 2025, and encourage all employees, our parish council members, and residents of St. Tammany Parish to thank her for her contributions and commitment to St. Tammany Parish. Eva Hunter, congratulations. Well, look at that. Look at our folks are doing for you here, huh? Let's stand with everybody and get a picture, all right? Did you want to say anything?
Of course,
Sure. There we go.
of course. I was going to say something profound and deep, but I say, why should I change my image now? I sound pretty good on paper, though. I just want to thank you guys for giving me this honor, and my boss over there for tricking me. But all this is, I know this is my moment to shine,
Yes,
but I definitely could not have done it without my finance family. And so this is also for them as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Eva. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Eva. Our next presentation is a presentation of a proclamation to the Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency for Donate Life Month by President Cooper.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This evening, we have Mr. Brett Gordon, President and CEO of LOPA, and Ms. Jill Willey, Director of Strategic Marketing with LOPA. And I'll ask them to come to the podium as I acknowledge the great work of the Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency, LOPA. Whereas more than 100,000 across the country are waiting on life-saving organ transplant, with 2,000 of those individuals residing in the great state of Louisiana. And whereas one organ donor can save up to 8 lives, one tissue donor can save and heal over 75 lives, and one cornea donor can restore sight to 2 people. And whereas listing your name in the Louisiana Donor Registry provides hope for those whose life or productivity depends on a transplant. And whereas more than 2.8 million Louisiana residents have already registered as an organ donor at the Office of Motor Vehicles when applying for or renewing a driver's license, with many also choosing to sign up online and through LA Wallet and the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. And whereas the spirit of giving and the decision to donate are not restricted by age or medical condition, and whereas the Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency, LOPA, and you can see their building headquartered right on I-12 off of 190, and Donate Life Louisiana work together with volunteers, the private sector, nonprofits, media partners to bring awareness and inform the public of the life-saving potential of organ, tissue, and eye donation. Now, therefore, I, Michael B. Cooper, as Parish President of St. Tammany Parish, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as Organ Donation Awareness Month in St. Tammany Parish, and in witness thereof, I set my hand officially to acknowledge it on this third day of April 2025. And I would offer you all to say a few words, if you will.
Well, thank you. Thank you, President Cooper, and we appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight and appreciate the Parish Council's support of our organization. As you stated the statistics. There's 100,000 patients in the United States waiting for that life-saving gift. There's 2,000 of them that are our neighbors, our friends, our family here in Louisiana that need that same life-saving gift. So we appreciate you raising awareness to the need. Unfortunately, there's not enough gifts in the system to be able to support all those with that need. So we use it this month and really all year to ensure we get out the education so people are aware of the need and they can get their questions answered so they can make the best informed decision for them on what works for them when the opportunity may present itself to be an organ and tissue donor. Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency, LOPA, we are a proud residents here with our headquarters in our small hospital, as you had mentioned, here in St. Tammany. So we appreciate the opportunity to have the partnership and the engagement from you all. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Very well said. Next on the agenda, we have the introduction of Wyatt Bender. Okay, we can do it after that. Would you like to do your personal privilege now or later?
Yes, if I may. Thank
By all
you.
means.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Sorry, Wyatt. You keep every time we mess up when your name comes up. Not again, I promise.
And thanks, Council Clerk, for that reminder. If I may take a moment of personal privilege to thank the citizens of St. Tammany who exercised their right to vote this past weekend, or maybe in the early voting. I want to thank all who participated, our state and local elected officials, our business community, business organizations who took the time to support the proposition that we had on the ballot to provide what we felt was a solution to provide long-term infrastructure improvements as well as long-term sustainable funding for our public safety agencies. Well, the voters spoke, and we respect their decisions. And I think our commitment now, I know our commitment now, council, administration, to work with our partners and the public, our citizens, to find a solution that we can all put before for a vote or whatever in the future so that we can meet the demands that we have for our criminal justice system, our public safety agencies. And I thank you for this opportunity, and I look forward to working with you and our citizens in the future to address this. Thank you.
Thank you. Very well said. Now, finally, the introduction by his very, very proud grandfather, our junior council member, Wyatt Bender. Mr. Bender, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A number of years ago, one of our colleagues up here came up with the idea of starting a junior council member of the month, and we don't do it every month. I would say we do it maybe 3 times a year. And I thought that to be very, very interesting. That was Mr. Billiot that did that. And I've made use of it with sons and daughters of constituents, with lately with my own grandchildren who've gotten to an age where they understand what this means, because I think it's an honor for our young people, many of whom I have constituents who have gone on to be medical doctors and engineers and hardworking people in this community. None of them have I seen anything about jail or anything like that. They've all turned out to be really good people. So tonight I have one of my grandsons, Wyatt Bender, and I'd just like to go over a few things about Wyatt. Wyatt is 11 years old. Your favorite sports are?
Golf. I like to play flag football and basketball.
Gotcha. I can no longer play golf. Y'all can figure that out. Age and weight. But Wyatt, which one is your favorite sport?
Golf.
Golf. And you love school.
I like my pictures.
Wait, I'm sorry, I apologize. That's one we didn't go through in advance. I asked him this before, and he says, Grandpa, I love my teachers. And he just said it again. He loves his teachers. Where do you go to school?
Our Lady of Lourdes Catholic School.
There we go. And you're in
5th grade.
5th grade, 11 years old. So he's right at the right age that he understands what's going on here, and I wanted to recognize him. And we're both going to stand as I read the certificate of recognition from St. Tammany Parish Government. So St. Tammany Parish Government Certificate of Recognition, St. Tammany Parish Council recognizes Wyatt Bender for serving as junior council member at the April 3rd, 2025 council meeting. This certificate of recognition was unanimously approved by the St. Tammany Parish Council on the 3rd day of April 2025. It is signed by myself as the district councilman, and Wyatt does live in my district, and our parish president, Michael B. Cooper, who I thank. And Wyatt, you'll be able to get this framed by your mom and dad. Congratulations. Good job. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Excellent job. Thank you, Wyatt, for being here. All right, our 5th presentation is a proclamation to Emile Duet for her basketball achievements by the Honorable Maureen O'Brien. Emily, I'm sorry. It's not that funny.
Okay, come on up. She has a little bit of an entourage. Okay. Well, I always say when I have the wonderful opportunity to do a presentation, it's one of my favorite parts of the job. Whether we're talking about individuals or companies who excel, like #1 in the state or the nation on anything, or like the ice cream store. I think they were in the top 10. I get so excited. But today, this is really special for me because while Emily doesn't live in my district, we're a family. So we have been very proud of her. I know her school is. Let me tell you a little bit about her accomplishments. The Parish Council would like to congratulate and recognize Emily Dewey as she completes her basketball career at St. Scholastica Academy. Whereas Emily joined the St. Scholastica Doves basketball team as a point guard in 8th grade with a modest career goal of hitting 1,000 points. And whereas Emily has earned the title of St. Scholastica's all-time leading scorer with a career total of 2,015 points, she has also totaled over 702 rebounds, 580 assists, and more than 460 steals in her 5-year career at St. Scholastica. And whereas Emily started playing basketball when she was just 6 years old, and now as a senior, she averages 20.1 points, 4.6 rebounds, 3.7 steals, and 5 assists. And whereas Emily has been named to the St. Tammany Farmers All-Parish Girls Basketball Team, is the District 7-4A MVP, Clarion Herald 2025 Elite Girls Basketball Team MVP, and was on the first team all-conference all-conference for the past 3 years, in addition to helping the Doves earning the conference and regional championships in 2024. And whereas Emily will be attending the University of Mobile, where she wants to excel and continue her academic and athletic career. So now, therefore, I, Maureen O'Brien, Councilwoman, District 10, along with the entire Parish Council, Pat Phillips, who's their council person, President Cooper, I thought you were going to come up here. We all want to congratulate her on her accomplishments and wish her the best in her upcoming college basketball career. What a list of accomplishments. For sure. Very proud of you, Emily. I did ask if she wanted to say a few words, and I believe the answer was no, but I wanted to see if anybody else wanted to say anything. Okay, well, they said we got it. So Emily, we need to have you holding this. Okay, and girls, y'all switch down. And then Joe. There you go. Okay, congrats, sweetie.
Very impressive. Thank you, Ms. O'Brien, and thank you, Emily. Our last presentation is a proclamation to the Slido Ladies of Liberty for their service to our military men and women, presented by the Honorable David Kugel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I had actually a personal experience with these ladies during my deployment with the Marines. I'm in the Navy, but I was deployed with the Marines, which is one of my greatest experiences of my life. In 2018, 2019 in Bahrain, and all of a sudden in our office space, we started getting these huge boxes, and they were just filled with goodies, candy, everything else you can imagine, and we were just distributing it, and apparently my mom had signed me up to receive these packages, and I just tell you, every few weeks or every month or so when I got that, it was just great, and everybody enjoyed them. And I am going to give you guys a chance to speak, but I first want to just read this proclamation or certificate of recognition about just the amazing work you guys do. And I mean, I've been able to, as you may, I don't know if you remember, I think it was about a year and a half ago when I came by and was able to participate. Man, the operation you run is just absolutely amazing. And you just touch the lives of so many servicemen and women around the planet, honestly. And so I'm just going to read this and just and allow you guys to speak afterwards. The Parish Council desires to acknowledge the Slidell Ladies for Liberty for their commitment to our St. Tammany military men and women serving overseas. Whereas the Slidell Ladies for Liberty is a nonprofit organization sending monthly care packages to our deployed military overseas, and whereas the Slidell Ladies for Liberty was formed in 2007 by a group of 9 PTA moms and has since evolved to over 100 volunteers who have sent to date over 29,000 monthly We Care packages to locally deployed men and women in all branches of the military. And whereas the Slidell Ladies for Liberty host a Thank a Soldier table the first Saturday of every month at the Camellia City Farmers Market to collect thank you notes and children's colored pictures to send in the boxes. The Slidell Ladies for Liberty hosts 2 major fundraisers per year, which provide approximately 6 to 8 months of postage, and all of the supplies come from the community. And whereas the Slidell Ladies for Liberty normally support around 50 soldiers per month, where each soldier receives a snack box and a toiletry box. In November, their boxes include donated Christmas decorations to brighten the soldiers' quarters, and in December, each soldier receives an additional box with a handmade stocking, homemade cookies, and small gifts donated by their supporters. And at Mardi Gras, they receive king cakes donated by Randazzo's Camellia City Bakery. And I remember that when I was deployed. That was a good reminder of home when you get a king cake. And whereas the Parish Council would like to thank the Slidell Ladies for Liberty, along with recognizing 4 of the original founding members who are still active with the organization: Annette Hall, Libby Guidry, Kay DeLuca, and Debbie Miller. Now, therefore, on April 3rd, 2025, I, David Kugel, Councilman District 9, along with the entire council, take great pride in recognizing and expressing my appreciation to the Slidell Ladies for Liberty for their dedication and commitment to supporting our military men and women of St. Tammany Parish who serve overseas.
Yes. Thank you all so much for this recognition. I think Councilman Kugel has summarized us very well, so if you have any other questions, you can always check us out. We're on Facebook, and we have a website. We are an all-community organization, both the donations and the volunteers that we have. We thank God we live in the South where we are. We're very fortunate to be here. We do not do this for the recognition, but it is always good to get that as well. So thank you. Thank you, Councilman Kugel, for your service and for acknowledging us. And if we have any other veterans or serving military, if you'd raise your hand, we'd like to thank you too. Thank you for your service. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you so much for being here. It was an honor for us. Okay, now we move on to our appeals. We have Heather Dempsey, Justin Petard will be speaking, appealing the Zoning Commission denial on February 4th, 2025 to rezone .64 acres of land, more or less located in the southwest corner of Louisiana Highway 59 and Sharp Road, Mandeville, from its existing L1 large lot residential district to an NC neighborhood commercial district in Ward 4, District 5. Mr. Phillips.
We'll go ahead and postpone it for 1 month.
So a motion to postpone. I have a second by Mr. Rowling. Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
Okay, now we'll move on to our appointment segment of the agenda. The first is a resolution to appoint Patrick Sanders to fill a vacant seat. The term has expired on the Board of Commissioners for Fire District Number 8. Ms. Tanner.
I make the motion.
Motion by Ms. Tanner, second by Ms. Seiden. Any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
Okay, number 2 is a resolution to appoint Adam Jacks to fill a vacant seat. The term has expired on the Board of Commissioners for Fire District 3. This is in District 3. Can I get a motion by Mr. Laughlin, second by Mr. Kugel? We have one speaker. Mr. Jacks, would you like to speak? I think you're a shoo-in. You have no competition.
Good evening, Council. How are you? Just wanted to introduce myself. Recently retired, did 26 years as a special agent with Department of Homeland Security. I retired exactly 3 months and 1 day ago. I've devoted my life to public service. I'm still too young. I'm not willing to give that up, so I appreciate the opportunity, and I intend on being a really good advocate for Fire District 3.
Thank you so much for agreeing to serve. We have a motion.
Thank you.
Okay, please vote. And thank you again, Mr. Jacks.
The motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
Okay, number 3 is a resolution to appoint Jerry Bender to fill a vacant seat on the Board of Commissioners for the Community Action Agency Advisory Board, which is parish-wide. Motion by Mr. Kugel, second by Mr. Burke. Is there any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
Congratulations, Mr. Bender. I'm sure Wyatt Bender does not want to serve on this. He needs to play golf. Okay. Next, we'll go to the consent calendar. So any items not pulled from the consent calendar are automatically approved in whole by 1 vote. Items pulled from the consent calendar are discussed and voted upon individually. A majority vote of the entire council, 8, is required to adopt the consent calendar. So we're going to pull, you guys ready? Number 11, 7852. Number 14, 7855. And resolutions number 5. C-7086.
Mary got her light on. You turn her on.
Hit it again. Katrina messed up.
You messed up.
Okay.
We have someone who's coming in remotely, and they would like to pull number 2 under resolution 7083.
Mr. Smith, do you have anything to pull? Mr. Rowling? Ms. Casabon? Ms. Seiden? Mr. Phillips?
No.
Ms. Tanner? Mr. Burke? Mr. Kugel? Ms. O'Brien? Mr. Laughlin? Mr. Bender? Mr. Bender? Mr. Strickland? Okay, with that being said, can I get a motion to approve the consent calendar lest the items adopted? Motion, Mr. Burke, second, Mr. Laughlin. Please vote. Keep up, Katrina. Slowing us down.
The motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
All right, the first is a finance ordinance calendar number 7852, ordinance to amend the 2025 operating budget, amendment number 7. Ms. Tanner.
Yes, sir. I would like to amend this ordinance to take out the $10,000 overtime for the Public Information Office. This is the first quarter, and I think we need to go on and see how it progresses this year before we make such an amendment. So I'd like to remove that from this ordinance.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Staff. Is your light still on, or does that need to go off? Okay. Second by Ms. Casabon. Is there any discussion? Okay, please vote. We're voting on the amendment. Then we're going to make a motion a second on.
The
to
motion is
introduce.
unanimous with one absent.
Okay, Ms. Tanner, you make a motion to introduce?
I make a motion to introduce.
Second by Ms. Siden? Thank you. Okay, next is number 14. Number 14 is ordinance calendar number 7855, ordinance to extend the 6-month moratorium on the receipt of submissions by the Parish Planning and Zoning Commission for the re-subdivision of or rezoning of property and/or the issuance of permits, certain permits by the Parish Department of Planning and Development, permits for the construction of certain building structures on property in the area bounded by the north by Interstate 12, on the west by Old Tide and Transmitter Road, and bounded to the east by North Shore Boulevard and Highway 433, south of Interstate 12 to Bayou Liberty Road, Jefferson Avenue, Napoleon Avenue, Florian Road, Laurent Road, and to Lake Pontchartrain, being a portion of Parish Council District Number 11, Ward 7, 8, and District 11. Mr. Laughlin.
Turn them on.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This hopefully will be the last time I will ask to continue this moratorium. We are about to adopt the coastal resilience. We just need a couple of months of kind of belts and suspenders to keep this, because I think the coastal resilience will take care of this. So I'm just
Excellent.
asking for a 6-month extension.
So motion to second by Mr. Kugel. Thank you, sir. There's no discussion, right?
No.
Okay. Next is, was that
Resolution
14?
number 2.
We got resolution number 2.
Number 2.
All right, resolution number 2, council series number C-7083, resolution to approve recommendation of the Civil Division of the 22nd District Attorney's Office and authorization to tender defense of lawsuit entitled Michael Rourke et al. Versus St. Tammany Parish Government. We have a speaker. Let's see, we have Mr. Glenn. How do you say the last name? Uhack. I know Glenn, I just never know how to say his last name. Do we have the Zoom connected?
John, is your mic on? I think it's the lectern. Yes.
The crescent.
Yeah.
Glenn, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Glenn, how do you say your last name before you start so I don't mess it up in the future?
Uhack. U-H-A-C-K.
Thank you, Glenn. You can proceed.
Okay. No, I appreciate that. I was just collecting some of my thoughts, but I'll. Yeah, words. Sure, I struggle with words sometimes. I wanted to speak regarding the resolution of Council Series number C-7083. If this is the appropriate time, let me know. I'll share the
sir.
concerns I had with that. If not, I can hold until later.
No, this is the appropriate time.
Yeah, so my understanding, the recommendation within the resolution Council Series C-7083 is to continue litigation in court related to Michael Rowick versus St. Tammany Parish. In short, my understanding, the plaintiffs in that case asserted facts and circumstances that resulted in serious injury to a minor child due to a dangerous, aggressive animal that mauled the child. And I won't get into the facts of the case, but just considering the facts, I oppose the recommendation within this resolution, considering the circumstances and facts that were described by the plaintiffs in the plaintiff's complaint, that go on to say the animal mauled the minor child. Words. In short, the animal was rehomed, my understanding, from St. Tammany Parish Department, and there wasn't dangerous animal, aggressive animal disclosures with that to the foster family. And that wasn't aligned with the owner that surrendered that pet. So, I mean, in short, what I assert is that I think it's inappropriate to continue litigation for a case like this and fund litigation for a case like this with the intent to continue to deny claims and avoid any relief to the plaintiffs and just keep dragging that out. My position is parish stakeholders, we should cease funding any litigation in a case like this, considering these circumstances. And in my opinion, I believe it's the responsible, appropriate thing to do. Is, a child's been mauled. I think we need to partner with, with the people that have been injured to try to reach some reasonable settlement with that party. And I pray you'll consider my opposition and the reasons why to the recommendation in that resolution series. I'll pause there if any questions.
Emily, without divulging any attorney-client privilege, I'm just looking at this resolution now. So specifically, it says the DA has recommended tendering the defense of the lawsuit to the insurer for St. Tammany Parish government. If you could explain whatever, just without divulging any attorney-client privilege. Thank you.
Well, just on attorney-client privilege, I also don't want to get into legal strategy. If that is the intent of the council, then I would recommend that we go into executive session. But very briefly, you can read the resolution that's in your packet, and this is tendering the defense to the parish's insurance company. It is not settlement of the case. It is asking the insurer for the parish to take over the defense of this lawsuit.
Instead of the DA.
Correct. If we want to discuss that beyond that, again, I would recommend going to an executive session to do that.
Yeah, my opposition still remains. I'm not familiar with all the logistics and legalities of handing it over to insurance, but in principle, I don't, the facts that I'm aware, I don't think this case needs to continue to be drawn out in litigation. I think the position of the parish should be, we should try to partner with the plaintiff to reach a reasonable resolution and settlement. A minor child was mauled. And I think the appropriate thing to do is not to continue to draw that out in litigation. I'll pause there. Thank you for the time.
Thank you very much for your comments. Your input is always valuable. Ms. Casabon.
No, I was just going to say that I think this was a standard procedure because we can't react without the insurance. We follow. It's not giving up or saying that we're not going to pay. It's just being handled differently. So we can't handle it. They're doing it through the insurance company. Is what I don't want it to appear that we're not wanting to settle or whatever. But I agree with this and understand it now.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Seeing no more comments, please vote. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Ms. Casabon, would you make a motion? I'll make a motion. Second by Ms. Tanner. Seeing no other comments, please vote.
Ms. Casabon, what was your vote? You can say it aloud. The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Okay, I do not see Ms. Baralt here. Our last resolution is Council Series number C-7086, resolution to support legislation to amend Louisiana Resolution 33, revised statute, 33-9611A to allow for the creation of an Officer of Inspector General, St. Tammany Parish. Can we get a motion to table this until Ms. Baralt gets here? Mr. Laughlin moved to table, second by, yes, she is. She's been texting. So a motion and a second to table. Please vote.
Who was the second?
Was Mr. Kugel. Yes, please vote on table. And as soon as she gets here, we'll go ahead and pull it back out.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
All right, ordinances for adoption. Number 1 is ordinance calendar number 7779, ordinance amending the official zoning map of St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana to reclassify a certain parcel of land located at 59424 Lacombe Harbor Road from its present L1 large lot residential district to an L1 large lot residential district and manufactured housing overlay in Ward 4, District 7. Can I get a motion? Mr. Laughlin, second by Mr. Bender. Any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Mr. Laughlin, will you call Ms. Burrell and get an update? Number 2 is ordinance calendar number 7815, ordinance to amend St. Tammany Parish Code of Ordinances, Part 2, Unified Development Code, Chapter 900, Infrastructure, Section 900-6, Drainage and Flood Prevention, Section 900-6.5, Placement of fill, subsection, to remove from an area of special concern. Remove an area of special concern property situated in Section 12, Township 7, Range 11 East, also bearing the municipal address of 21501 Soel Drive. Mr. Laughlin. So moved. Motion, second by Mr. Kugel. Is there any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Number 3 is ordinance calendar number 7817, ordinance to extend for 6 months the moratorium on receipt of submissions by the Parish Planning and Zoning Commission for the re-subdivision or rezoning of certain property and/or the issuance of certain permits by the Parish Department of Planning and Development and permits for the construction or placement of certain building structures on property in the area bounded by 11th Street, Harrison Avenue, Highway 59, Fire Tower Road, 5th Avenue, and Hellenberg Road, all as of more particularly described herein on the attached map in Ward 3, District 5. Mr. Phillips and Laughlin.
Yeah, so moved. Got a lot of projects going on in that area. And they're not complete this time.
Usually move. Second by Mr. Kugel. Any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with 2 absent.
Number 4 is ordinance calendar number 7818, ordinance to extend a 6-month moratorium on the receipt of submissions by the St. Tammany Parish Planning Department of Planning and Development and/or the issuance of permits by the Department of Permits and Inspections for the construction or placement of any new building structures in Flores Glen subdivision. Can I get a motion, Ms. Seiden? Yes. Second by Mr. Rolling. Any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with 2 absent.
Number 5 is ordinance calendar number 7819, ordinance to extend a 6-month moratorium on the receipt of submissions by the St. Tammany Parish Department of Planning and Development and/or the issuance of permits by the Department of Permits and Inspections for the construction or placement of any new residence or dwelling within Tammany Forest subdivision located within the geographic boundaries of Council District 7 east of 434 and on the east and west sides of Berry Todd Road. Can I get a motion by Mr. Bender, second by Mr. Kugel? Is there any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with 2 absent.
Number 6 is ordinance calendar number 7821, ordinance to amend St. Tammany Parish Code of Ordinances, Part 1, Code of Ordinances, Chapter 2, Offenses and Miscellaneous Provisions, Article 8, Fireworks, Regulation of Fireworks, to amend subsection C2 to remove Council District 14 from the prohibition of fireworks sales in unincorporated Ward 8. Mr. Strickland. Motion by Mr. Strickland, second by Mr. Kugel. Okay. Any discussion? Please vote.
Mr. Laughlin, what was your vote? The motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
Number 7, ordinance calendar number 7822, ordinance amending the official zoning map, Exhibit 1, ordinance official zoning map, Exhibit 1 of St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana, and Chapter 400, zoning of the Parish Code of Ordinances in accordance with the Coastal Resilience Land Use Study recommendations, including zoning map amendments within the land area located in District 7 and 11, bounded by I-12 to the north, east by Highway 433, and west by Highway 190 in St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana, in response to ordinances C2 23-5151, CS 24-5408, and CS 24-5409, which impose moratoriums on permits for the construction of certain buildings in St. Tammany Parish, Wards 4, 7, and 9, and Districts 7 and 11. Mr. Laughlin?
You have a card, too.
I know I do. I know what I'm doing. Don't worry about me. Mr. Laughlin. should have been doing that instead of worrying about getting on me.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, sir, this is something very dear to you and me, but we do need to make some minor tweaks. There's a couple areas that we need to add to this and a couple that we need to take out. So at this time, I would ask if I could make a motion to postpone so we can amend and reintroduce next month.
Postpone for how long? 30 days?
30 days, yes, sir.
Okay, motion to postpone, second by Ms. O'Brien. Mr. Vincent, we have a speaker card for Mr. Vincent. You have 1 minute to discuss the postponement.
Thank you. Just very quickly,
Please
I wanted
state your
to
name and address for the record.
Okay. John Vincent, 21573 Soul Drive, and we're kind of in the poster child for flooding, overdevelopment. First, I want to thank all the councilmen, and also President Cooper for the drainage improvements that are being done in our neighborhood and the road resurfacing. We're kind of the poster child for the very issue that's being faced on the south side of the parish. We're in a pine savanna, and it's flat. And we have soils that do not absorb water. It's sheet water runoff. We're depending on streams to make the drainage work. We don't have pumping stations. I've been flooded on the South Shore in my business, my mom's house, and our house. When I moved over here 15 years ago, we raised our house, and we're not even in a flood zone. So I wasn't going to take a chance of that happening again. So whatever improvements can be made to look very carefully at where we allow construction to take place, what type of construction takes place, I'm very supportive of. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. I see we have one. Mr. Phillips, this is a motion to postpone. You have the mic.
I approved postponing. I had something else to say. I could hold it for personal privilege if you want, and I'll give the mic
you
to
can
someone.
say it. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure that all the other districts, like I know District 5, I'd like them to have a study done in our district also. So.
Okay, so we have a motion and second to postpone. Seeing no other discussion, please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Number 8 is ordinance calendar number 7823, ordinance amending the official zoning map of St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana to reclassify a certain parcel located on the west side of Doris Street, north of 4th Avenue, being farm number 11 Hellenberg subdivision, Covington, from its present R1 rural residential district to an L1 large lot residential district in Ward 3, District 5. Mr. Phillips.
I so move.
Motion, Mr. Phillips, second by Ms. Casabon. Any discussion? Please vote.
Mr. Loughlin, what was your vote? Yay. The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Number 9 is ordinance calendar number 7824, ordinance amending the official zoning map of St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana to reclassify a certain parcel located on the east side of Airport Road across from Hard Hat Drive, Covington, from its present L1 large lot residential to an ED1 primary education district, Ward 3, District 2. Mr. Rowling.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just wanted to recap this really quick. Back in January, I called a district meeting to the community on this rezoning, and the owner of the property in the Holy Family School and Mr. Shane were there. The community really came out for this. I think we had around 25 to 30 people. Everybody seemed to be extremely satisfied with getting the school in their community, so I support this. Thank you.
Very well done. So we have a motion by Mr. Rowling, second by Ms. Casabon. Is there any other discussion? Please vote. Good job, Mr. Rowling.
The motion is unanimous with two absent.
Number 10 is ordinance calendar number 7825, ordinance amending the official zoning map of St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana to reclassify a parcel located on the east and west sides of Pruden Road, north of US 190, Ronald Reagan Highway, Covington, from its present R1 rural residential district to an R2 rural residential district, Ward 3, District 3. Ms. Casabon. Motion by Ms. Casabon, second by Mr. Rowling. Is there any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with 2 absent.
Number 11 is ordinance calendar number 7826, ordinance amending the official zoning map of St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana to reclassify a certain parcel located on the east side of Lake Road, south of Sampson Road and Lacombe from its present R1 rural residential to an L2 large lot residential and S1 suburban residential district. Can we get a motion to table the postpone, please?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Laughlin, second, Mr. Kugel. Please vote. Oh, I missed that one.
Is it automatic 30 days?
30 days is all I want, but I think so, yes,
The
David.
motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
Okay, number 12 is ordinance calendar number 7827, ordinance to revoke an unopened portion of Helen Street located on the east side of Soult Street, north of Jones Street, south of Nelson Street, between Square 324A and Square 324B, in the town of Mandeville subdivisions as delineated on map number 208A, Ward 4, District 7. Can I get a motion? Motion by Ms. O'Brien, second by Mr. Laughlin. Any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
Number 13 is ordinance calendar number 7829, ordinance to change a portion of South Pontchartrain Drive, east and west portion, R07 F001, to St. Louis Street, R07 G011, as per the attached 911 recommendation. This portion is west-south 24th for 6,300 feet, Ward 7, District 7. Can I get a motion? Motion by Mr. Laughlin, second by Ms. O'Brien. Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
Number 14 is ordinance calendar number 7830, ordinance authorizing the Parish of St. Tammany through the office of the Parish President to acquire certain parcels of rights-of-ways and/or servitudes for the Abita Nursery Project in Ward 10, District 6. Ms. Tanner?
I make the motion.
Motion by Ms. Tanner, second by Ms. Seiden. Any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
Number 15 is ordinance calendar number 7831, ordinance authorizing the Parish of St. Tammany through the office of the Parish President to acquire certain parcel of French Branch Pond Expansion Project in Ward 8, District 8. Mr. Burke. Oh, I didn't know you wanted to speak. I just was looking for a motion.
This was long in coming. I make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Burke, second by Mr. Kugel. Is there any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
Number 16 is ordinance calendar number 7832, ordinance to amend a portion of the St. Tammany Parish Code of Ordinances, Part 2, Unified Development Code, UDC, adopted per ordinance number 23-5339 as amended regarding approval of a master drainage plan in phase development. Ms. Casabon. Motion by Ms. Casabon, second by Mr. Rowling. Is there any discussion? Please vote.
Mr. Strickland, what was your vote? Yay. The motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
Number 17 is ordinance calendar number 7833, ordinance authorizing the Parish of St. Tammany through the office of the Parish President to acquire certain parcels, rights-of-ways, and/or servitudes from Crestwood, 11th Street, North Drive Drainage Project, Ward 3, District 2 and 5. Mr. Rowling, Mr. Phillips. Motion by Mr. Rowling, second by Mr. Phillips. Is there any discussion? Please vote.
Mr. Phillips, what was your vote?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
The motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
Number 18 is ordinance calendar number 7834, ordinance to authorize the Parish of St. Tammany through the office of the Parish President to enter into one or more leases on property located on the south side of Coop Drive and West Tammany Trace in Ward 4, District 11. Mr. Laughlin. Motion, Mr. Laughlin, second by Ms. O'Brien. Is there any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
Number 19 is ordinance calendar number 7835, ordinance to amend the 2025 grants budget amendment number 3. Ms. Tanner?
I make the motion.
Motion by Ms. Tanner, second by Ms. Casabon. Is there any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Might as well finish these now. Well, let me see. Let's finish up all these. Number 20 is ordinance calendar number 7836, ordinance to amend the 2025 operating budget, Amendment 5. Ms. Tanner?
I make the motion.
Motion by Ms. Tanner, second by Mr. Phillips. Is there any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Number 21 is ordinance calendar number 7837, ordinance to amend the 2025 operating budget, Amendment 6. Ms. Tanner?
I make the motion.
Motion by Ms. Tanner, second by Mr. Smith. You finally did something. That's good. Any discussion?
Shame on you.
Please vote.
Lord.
He likes it.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Number 22 is ordinance calendar number 7838, ordinance to amend the 2025 capital improvement budget and capital assets, Amendment number 7, buildings, general capital projects. Ms. Tanner.
I make the motion.
Motion by Ms. Tanner, second by Mr. Smith. Again. Any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Number 23 is ordinance calendar number 7839, ordinance to amend the 2025 capital improvement budget and capital assets, Amendment number 8, coastal restoration capital projects. Ms. Tanner.
I make the motion.
Motion by Ms. Tanner, second by Mr. Burke. Any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Number 24 is ordinance calendar number 7840, ordinance to amend the 2025 capital improvement budget and capital assets, Amendment number 9, sales tax District 3 capital projects. Ms. Tanner?
I make the motion.
Motion by Ms. Tanner, second by Mr. Phillips. Any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Number 25 is ordinance calendar number 7841, ordinance authorizing the Parish of St. Tammany through the Office of the Parish President to acquire a certain parcel for demolition with sale or exchange or disposal following. Ward 9, District 12, and this is a big deal. Mr. Bender.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Of course.
I would like to very briefly thank the administration. Very much, Carl, and I very much appreciate everything that you've done and others in the administration have done. I got involved in this kind of late in the game, and the cooperation has been excellent. This is certainly something that needs to be done. As I've looked at this in my district, it has danger written all over it. So it's a tremendous start to a program that I think we're going to see continuing, okay? So once again, my thanks, and I make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Bender, second by Mr. Burke. Is there any discussion? Please vote. What a great thing. Carla, you still have a lot of work to do,
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
but you're doing good. Thank you. Number 26 is ordinance calendar number 7842, ordinance amending the official zoning map of St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana to reclassify a certain parcel located on the west side of Penn Mill Road, north of U.S. Highway 190, Ronald Reagan Highway, covering from its present R2 Rural Residential District and RO Rural Overlay District to an S1 Suburban Residential District and PF1 Public Facilities District in Ward 3, District 3. Ms. Casabon. Motion by Ms. Casabon, second by Ms. Seiden. Is there any discussion? Please vote. So we had a resolution tabled. We're
The
going to go.
motion passes with 12 yeas, 1 abstention, and 1 absent.
Okay. Can we get a motion to pull it off the table by Ms. Seiden, second by Mr. Smith? Please vote to pull resolution number C-708 off the table. Okay. All right, Katrina Jr.
They have to vote.
Nobody knows. That's what you say.
Everybody please vote.
Everybody please vote. Come on, Rick. You want to see the LSU game? Let's get cracking.
The motion is unanimous with 1 absent. You need to take your medicine.
It's been a long month. Okay, let's get to this. Let's get back to business. Okay. Okay, number 5 is Resolution Council Series C-7086, resolution to support legislation to amend Louisiana RS 339611 to allow for the creation of an Office of Inspector General in St. Tammany Parish. Ms. Baralt, please state your name and title, and you can proceed.
You got it. Stephanie Baralt, State Representative, District 76. I'll be very brief because I am not going to hold anybody up from LSU, for sure. I think most of you have seen the legislation I'm proposing, which is permissive. It doesn't require anybody to do anything. It's permissive. It would allow the parish to create an Office of Inspector General and an Ethics Board if that were to be the desire. The motivation behind this really is nothing other than to restore voter confidence in how we spend our money. It's happening at the federal level. I sit on the fiscal responsibility program at the state level, or as the governor calls it, La Doge. So this is happening at every level of government, and this is just a tool, should you choose to use it, to restore some of the faith. I think we all saw what happened Saturday, and there is clearly anger among the electorate, and clearly there is a lack of confidence in how all of us, and I count myself in that, even though I've only been there 15 months, are spending money. So I'm offering you a tool. I would love to have your support. I feel like I've talked to a lot of you. This is not saying that anyone is doing anything wrong. This is just an effort at transparency. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay. In the queue, we have Ms. Tanner.
Thank you. I would like to offer an amendment. I think Mr. Kugel had an amendment, and I would like to also add to that. And what I'm asking is that, first of all, if this is done, if the council decides to do this at a later date, it goes to the vote of the people, with also a dedicated source on long-term funding, and that also is voted on by the people, because we have a finance problem. We cannot spend the money that Jefferson Parish does on $1.5 million and $2 million with the city of New Orleans. It's not that I'm against this, but we have placed the track program, which will give us a forensic accountant. We are also looking at the charter. There's a place in the charter where the council can have investigation. We need to tighten that up a bit, and we can set, this council can sit as an investigator on anything that comes up. And I just believe that we shouldn't do this without a vote of the people, and they have to find an independent funding source for it. That's my amendment.
Okay, so we have a motion on an amendment. Do we have a second? By Ms. Casabon. Okay, so we have a lot of extra discussion about the amendment, so and everybody's lights are on. So please be patient. Next is Mr. Kugel.
Cheryl, first off, I'm absolutely with you. I do not want to create an unfunded mandate. My particular issue and why I wanted my amendment separate is mine is specifically just technical in nature. I've talked to Representative Baralt and Arthur about this. Only because this, with Representative Baralt's language, specifically adds 2 words to the state law, St. Tammany, and all it does is allow us to create local ethics entities. I know that there is a particular interest with the Home Rule Charter Committee and other folks, other groups as well, for specifically an OIG. But the reason I'm offering the amendment very specifically technical is just to make it clear to the public. This just gives it, as Ms. Baralt said, this is permissive. It doesn't mandate anything. It says we can create a local ethics entity or an ethics review board or an OIG. And I'm familiar again with the 1.5 million you're referring to with Jefferson Parish. My concern is if you're saying like we have to have a separate funding source and that people have to vote on it, what if we decide to go the route later of just an ethics review board that meets once a month and that's a minimal cost? Does that need to? I don't want to get in a situation where we have something that her law will allow us to do, her change will allow us to do, and then we're saying we have something that could be very minimal cost that would, an ethics review board that meets once a month, 12 months a year, that we would be able to fund with minimal cost, and we're saying no, instead it has to go to a vote of the people, but we may have funding available for a particular year.
May I? I know it's not my turn, but should I answer him or just wait?
I think that's fair. You can answer him.
Okay.
And then we'll go to Mr. Laughlin.
My problem, David, with this is you say it only costs a minimum amount of money. Well, the position we're in now, we don't have a minimum amount of money. I think maybe our fund balance is estimated in general fund at $77,000 as of right now. So unless there's an independent funding source, and I think it needs to be independent, because if you're having a board where it's an inspector general or whether or not it's a board of ethics, it has to have an independent funding source and should not be out of our funds.
Okay, next is Mr. Laughlin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would just like to clarify for the audience. So I authored this resolution to support Representative Baralt's action. Mr. Kugel has corrected, with his legal expertise, he has corrected the parts that were missing from my resolution. And I do appreciate what my colleague Ms. Tanner wants to do. This is just to set the tone of kind of like declare what the intention of the council is. So I believe with both amendments, we can probably accomplish both, so that we support you in your efforts. We amend the technical details, and then if you are successful and we decide to go this route, then this is kind of the way we're going to go. So I think we can all work together.
Ms. Seiden.
I love this, and I wanted to support. I wanted Inspector General when I was elected. I thought that was a great idea. And then after doing a little research, I understand that it costs about $500,000 to $1 million a year in a smaller parish, county. I kind of scoured the whole United States, and really no one with a budget our size has an Inspector General yet. But I like the proactive approach to this. So as we grow, I think I'd like to have this in place so we can use it. But now I think it's maybe too soon for us. I don't think we have the budget for it. So that's all. There's no other county and no other parish in the country that has an Inspector General with our budget. It's just too small. And so I think, but as we grow, which we are, that we will probably need one at some point. I think there are other ways that we can bring in auditors. I think it would be much less expensive, but I think we do need some sort of transparency and some sort of practice in place this year. Like you said, I'd love to restore confidence in it. So I think this is a great initiative and a great start.
Very well said, Ms. Seiden. Mr. Burke?
Okay, I guess my question here is, by the way, I do support this, but my question is that with the amendment that's being offered, excuse my voice, is I think it's a little premature for Ms. Tanner's amendment, although I do agree with everything she said. I don't think this is the right time for that amendment. I mean, all this is doing, and correct me if I'm wrong, all we're doing is just authorizing or saying we support Stephanie Baralt's bill and to give us the ability, if we so desire, to create these different entities. And that's all we're doing, is just showing them a support. Down the road, let's say the Home New York Charter Committee decides that this is the road they want to go down, and they recommend to the council, hey, this is what we want to do. Well, it's going to come back to the council, and then at that time, I think Ms. Tanner's amendment would be appropriate, because I do agree with the contents of her amendment. However, I don't think it's appropriate for this particular resolution.
Well, it's just a resolution. I just think it makes it a bit more transparent. Mr. Kugel.
Yeah, I understand what Mr. Burke said. As Ms. Baralt said, this is permissive. I mean, there's no commitment here. I mean, we're not going on TV and saying that, it's a great idea, we're going to support it for sure or anything. But Cheryl, if this is what makes you, if this works for you guys, I don't have any opposition. Because I know your amendment actually includes both of our language, so if this is what the council wants, I don't have any opposition.
I love that.
With this going to, being done, I don't want to be put in the place I've been put in before, where they say, oh, go ahead and pass this, we're not going to do it. And 6 months later, they're standing up here in front of us saying, oh, we need to do this and we need to do it now. So I want to put the cushion in there so that if it's done, we know what we need to do to pass it on to the voters and let them decide. I don't want to debate it again.
And make sure everybody understands what they're dealing with. Mr. Rowling.
Just on that note, I know Mr. Burke mentioned some things I was thinking about too. This is a legal question, I guess, for Emily. At this point in the game, the way I understood this, even talking about it before, was we just want to get into the ballpark, right? To have an opportunity to do this if we want to, right? Is that correct?
Yes, so
Okay.
we are very many steps away from actually establishing either an Office of Inspector General or an ethics board.
So that being said, I'm not in disagreement with Ms. Tanner or Mr. Kugel, but I'm just thinking, wouldn't we, and I'm just talking to my counsel at this point, wouldn't we just want to go ahead and pass this as is? And then we're going to have a lot of discussion to revise it, attach amendments accordingly before we get there officially and also to the public. I think we kind of mixing the waters a little bit too soon, in my opinion. So I don't know if we would need another motion just to accept it as it was or
Right now,
not.
the motion on the floor is the amendment, so just remember that.
Gotcha. Okay.
And if we could just very briefly say what the amendment is for those that might be watching at home and might not have a copy in front of them. This is an amendment. It adds a whereas section, so it's actually not even in the body of the resolution itself. It's just explaining why the council is passing this resolution. And it says, whereas a dedicated source of long-term funding shall be established and approved by the voters if necessary prior to the implementation of the local ethics entities.
Ms. Peralta, did you want to say something?
I did. I just wanted to clarify one thing for the record. We've had some conversations about what the authority would be of this OIG and Ethics Board. And my intention in the long term would be for this organization to be able to follow any tax dollars from any of the organizations in the parish. The way it's currently in this piece of legislation, as you said, I'm just adding St. Tammany to existing. So at this moment, all this will be able to do is follow funds that are spent by this body. But my intention is next year, when it's no longer a fiscal year and I've got more bills available, to go in and expand that out. I want to be sure that I'm clear on the record about that.
Mr. Phillips.
I just want to be clear what we're voting on right now. We're voting to support.
We're voting
our
on the
representative.
amendment to the resolution.
But the amendment,
We're discussing, we haven't voted, we will be voting next on the amendment to the resolution.
but the amendment is you want to have a funding source available for,
I wanted to go to the vote of the people.
and that's predicated on whether we agree to what she's saying. Like when it goes.
Supporting her, but it's
Right.
adding another stipulation that if we decide to go to with Inspector General, Board of Ethics, whatever, that and its independent funding source goes to the people for a vote.
When we decided, if and when we
Yes,
decide.
sir.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Bender.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I understand what Ms. Peralta is trying to get accomplished, and I think the permissive part of it is fine. I wholeheartedly agree with Ms. Tanner. There are two words that I want to remind my colleagues of. These two words haunt me at night. And the two words are unfunded and mandate. An unfunded mandate. Let's create a law, not you, Ms. Peralta. Let's create a law. No,
I know, I just got there.
no, it's permissive. But I can see the news. I can see the news. Council approves Office of Inspector General. I'm not voting for. I'm gonna support this with the amendment. I want to be clear about that, and I like the permissive side of it. Okay, so I'm both with Ms. Peralta and Ms. Tanner, but to walk into sending to the public without this amendment an unfunded mandate potentially, I don't see where we're going to get the money. But I know this much: we need to leave it up to the people to vote. Yes, I'm for it. And yes, here's where we get the money from. We're willing to fund it. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bender. Ms. Casavant.
I guess I have a question for legal too. In order for us to even establish a board like this, would that have to come from our charter? Would it have to be in our charter?
Yes, and you'll see that in the third whereas. Whereas in addition to the bill to allow for the office, St. Tammany Parish voters will have to approve an amendment to the Home Rule Charter to allow for a local ethics entity.
Okay, so with this amended, we're stating that it would, that's the process they would have to go through, is that the Charter Committee would be one of their recommendations, and the people could vote on it.
This resolution tonight is just to support Ms. Baralt's legislation at the state legislature, but the whereases are spelling out the process for the public of what the steps will be if, in fact, that legislation is passed.
Okay. The people, the bottom line is, the people would have to vote on this. Okay.
Yes, ma'am, sorry.
Gotcha.
Mr. Laughlin?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to commend Ms. Stephanie Brault for bringing La Doge to St. Tammany.
There you go.
And I would like to call the question and for
There's
Ms.
only two more comments.
Yeah.
And then, does Ms. Tanner, you had it? No. Okay. Mr. Cool, you had a quick comment?
Yeah, quick comment.
Call the
Just
question to get moving on this.
Okay, and just to clarify again, the reason, the language I want to change this, I know a lot of people really are interested in the OIG, but this allows more than that. This allows local ethics entities, could be an OIG, could be an ethics review board, et cetera. And then last, I wanted to ask if Emily, just for the public, the process of how this works. So, and just correct me if I'm wrong, Representative Brault, the bill passes, the governor signs, then the Home Rule Charter Committee can give the council the ability through ordinance to create a local ethics entity such as an OIG, local ethics review board, et cetera. Is that correct?
The council will have to put a Home Rule Charter amendment before the voters, and the voters will have to vote on that.
And then
change to the charter.
Which would then allow us, if the voters approve it, it would then allow us to create one of these local ethics entities by ordinance?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
So I have one question, just so everybody understands. Can you explain to us what agencies the Inspector General will be able to inspect?
Right now, only the Parish Council. Next year, I will have to go back to expand that out to the other agencies in the parish.
And what other agencies would they be expanded out to?
We haven't defined that at all.
Okay,
Like,
something
we've
for
got a year to figure that out.
Question for a different day.
Yep.
Okay, last question is Ms. Tanner,
Okay.
and then we'll vote.
And okay, question, and I know we have to go through the charter, but we also, if the charter approves it, we still have to go back to the people for the money and the position. Okay? And thank you so much. And my only question is, when you expand this next year, are you going to check with the agencies and let us know? I mean, we don't want to...
I commit to you that I will be working with all of you as we move forward.
Because I would hate for you to put the sheriff of the school board on there and they come back at us because they didn't know it.
We'll all work together. Same team.
Thank you very much. We have a motion and a second on the amendments to the resolution. Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one
Mr. Laughlin, you'd like to move on the resolution as amended? Motion by Mr. Laughlin, second by Mr. Kugel. Any discussion? God, please no. Please vote. No more discussion.
Good.
Mr. Strickland, what was your vote? Yay. The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Ms. Baralt, thank you for your service to our community and
Thank
for
you very
being here
much.
tonight.
Appreciate you all. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Okay, we have some off-the-floor items, so everybody get comfortable. We have several variations of this, right? Can we get a motion for the open floor? Mr. Burke, second by Mr. Laughlin. Please vote. Which ones do we do first?
Has
Sean?
everybody voted? Ask them if they voted.
Please vote, everyone. Which
one
first, do you know?
The resolution. The motion is unanimous with one absent.
This one?
Yeah.
I thought we had another one that wasn't on the published agenda.
That's a verbal.
Okay, off the floor, number one is a resolution granting authority of the Parish of St. Tammany, State of Louisiana, to submit application materials to the Department of Environmental Quality and providing for other matters. Ms. Tanner.
I'm going to turn it over to Annie. Annie, would you give a brief?
Sure. We're working with the Department of Environmental Quality in order to finalize our application for a loan for the Goodby wastewater treatment plant. And in order to do that, we have to have the resolution stating certain information. And so we need to get this done so that we can finalize the application by the deadline of April 30th.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Ms. Tanner. Do we have a second?
If I may, I believe the resolution stated Cross Gates. That needs to be corrected to reflect Goodby.
Is it Crossgates?
No, it's Goodby. It's Goodby. Yes,
We
the
need to do
resolution
anything
has
formal
the
for that,
incorrect name on it. It needs to be changed.
So do I need to amend it to change? Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Ms. Tanner, can you make a motion to amend the resolution to substitute Cross Gates for Goodby?
No, Goodby for Cross Gates.
Goodby for Cross Gates. Motion by Ms. Tanner, second by Mr. Smith. Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Okay, can we get a motion, Ms. Tanner,
I make the motion.
on the resolution as amended, second by Mr. Smith. Please vote. Hey, Ms. O'Brien, Ms. Lawley, y'all keep it down there. Still have meeting time to go.
Well, Crossgates and Goodby are right next to each other.
All right,
Off make sure they voted. Everybody hasn't voted.
Has everyone voted, please?
All right, Ms. Seiden, what was your vote?
Yes.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
All right, number 2 is ordinance to amend St. Tammany Parish Code of Ordinances, Part 1, Code of Ordinances, Chapter 28, Offenses and Miscellaneous Provisions, Article 3, Waterways, Section 28-121, Operations, Special Speed Limits, definitions to create an additional dead slow speed limit on portions of the Chafunkta River. Ms. Seiden.
Yes, the Lieutenant Governor contacted our office this week and asked us to address the, they let us know that the river, there's a river walk that's just been completed by the state.
Oh, nice.
On the, wait, hold on, where is it, Fairview?
Yes.
Yes, Fairview Park on the Chafunkta River. It's 1,400.
In Slido?
No, in
Oh.
Mandeville.
Next down from Empastato's restaurant.
Anyway, they just completed the river walk, and they would like us to designate these areas as a dead slow, I believe is what they called it, a dead slow, in order to provide a safe area for kids to play. They can paddleboard, the people can walk up and down the boardwalk.
No, it's really neat.
Yeah, and so we have to introduce it now so it can be approved in time for summer.
Okay, so a motion by Ms. Seiden. Mr. Smith?
Second.
Ms. Kazenbaugh, a second. Motion to say, is there any more discussion?
Yeah. No vote. It's just for introduction.
No.
Oh, it's an ordinance, I'm sorry.
We've ignored him all.
The way I read it,
It's just only for
the dead
introductions, I'm
slow is starts 250 feet upriver from the park. And then it said it goes 1,400 feet downriver. Is that from the 250-foot starting line?
Here, there's a map.
Or
in
does
there.
that mean from the other side of the park?
It's before the park, towards Bushin.
So
Yeah,
it's a
Bushin, I
total dead slow zone of 1,400 feet?
Yes,
The total thing is 1,400?
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Rick, you just have to slow your boat down.
I know, slow your roll, Rick.
Yeah, well, it may be a good idea. I just know there's a lot of boaters out there that use that
Mary?
river that aren't real happy with this, I'm sure.
The verbal off the floor, where is it? Okay.
Team Billy.
Okay, is there any more discussion? We have a motion, the second, the item is introduced. We have one more verbal off the floor. Can we get a motion and the second to open the floor up for the?
Yeah, you have to read
I'll
it.
wait, Mary's passing it out now.
I blanked out where it was. I'm like, is it Fairview?
Yes.
No, it was for introduction.
Everybody knows the rules with me,
Yeah,
anyway.
I looked at it. I looked at it.
Okay.
No, it's before the park. What is this?
Carla wants a copy.
I got you. It's coming. And this is our last item.
I'm waiting on you to read it.
Waiting for everybody to get it. Okay, so the verbal off the floor is a resolution to support legislation to amend and reenact revised statute 561847, 3, to enact Louisiana revised statute 561855Q, and to repeal Louisiana revised statute 5618443 through 49, 54, 75, and 64 relative to the Louisiana Scenic Rivers Act to provide for exemptions and other related matters for waterways in St. Tammany Parish. The reason we had to do this on the floor tonight, we thought we could do it in May, but apparently we could not. We had to do it at this meeting. So can I get a motion to open up for off the floor?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by, we can talk, let's get it on the floor and then we can talk about it.
Make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Phillips, second by Mr. Smith. Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Okay, so I read the do I have to read it again, Katrina, or for the record or no?
You read it already?
Okay, so can we get a motion second on the resolution? Well, let's get it on the floor and then we'll discuss it. Motion by Mr. Laughlin, second by Mr. Burke. Okay, now first is Ms. Casabon.
All right, is this to remove the Scenic Waterway Act from these particular bayous?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I got some I want to add. They're not bayous, but they are rivers that pose in our areas. What? All right, Mike, do you have some? Anyway, all right. I don't know. In some of my
Can we get Jay and Daniel out
Yeah.
to discuss this a little bit more?
Yes.
Yeah, Daniel. I'm just saying that I have a lot, my tributaries, the whole Goodby end, I have creeks and bayous that we can't touch either, and that's where we have a lot of problems with when they get clogged up to go to Chiffon. I was reading the bayous and stuff that are listed here.
Yeah, so
did we not want to add?
Senator Bob Ohm was putting this up. What we looked at it is parish staff and more or less said, so Scenic Rivers Act, when it went in, had 7 criteria that said this is the criteria to qualify for Scenic
Okay.
Rivers Act. You have a lot of them in St. Tammany Parish that don't even meet the criteria that their act requires. So it's asking for a correction to remove some of these items back out of it that probably shouldn't have even been in there in the first place.
Okay. Okay.
Like, I'm looking at Larry and Rick.
Yeah.
Mile Branch in Covington is considered a scenic river. It's a man-made canal.
It's
It
a
was built in the
man-made canal.
1950s.
Yeah.
There's homes right up on top of it. That's a really good example of one that it doesn't fit the criteria of what the state defines as a scenic river. So.
Okay, I got you.
And we went through the whole list and kind of gave our feedback on what we thought was appropriate. And then,
Okay.
I mean, Senator Owen's the one that sponsored the bill, so.
All right. All right, very good.
we know
Yeah, we
flooding's
didn't know about this, so.
Okay, we know flooding is a major issue. This will
And,
really help in getting some of those waterways desnagged, and many of them, like Daniel was saying, do not even belong. Ms. O'Brien.
Yeah, my question was in regards to desnagging and all, because, I mean, after hurricanes, that's very important so that we don't have flooding in our areas. So am I understanding that this would eliminate the opportunity to desnag?
So, no.
I just want to understand that.
Increase the
Increase the opportunity?
Yes.
Okay, I'm good if it increases the opportunity.
And beavers? My area is the beavers. And we can't touch them.
We've had that.
I'm
in my
serious.
area,
And we
too.
have to, do you know that we have a trapper on payroll that has to move the beavers?
I agree.
Okay,
I've had
we
that
understand the
issue in
beaver
my-
problem.
yeah.
Mr. Smith.
Yeah, I want to thank Senator Bob Owens for sponsoring this. It's much needed. As Daniel just said, I've got neighborhoods that they don't have proper flow to their drainage systems because our Public Works Department doesn't have the ability to go in and do what's necessary to get those scenic ditches flowing, okay? It's a ditch. Give me a break. So yeah, we gotta act upon this, and I wish him a lot of luck to get that done.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Mr. Kugel.
Daniel, just a quick question about the, whereas it would will also create exceptions for a portion of West Pearl lying between Lock 1 and Wrigley's, which seems to be, looking on a map, pretty much, I think me, Jeff, and probably Pat a little bit too. So that will no longer be a scenic river, or it will still be a scenic river?
It's not my legislation. I don't know what was in the final draft that went to him. If Mary can get to you. I believe they said it was going to be excluded from scenic rivers for the next 10 years.
Okay.
So it wasn't a permanent removal for that one. It was just so that if dredging operations wanted to happen or stuff, it
that's my
would not have to satisfy the scenic rivers.
So this would allow more dredging easier in that area?
Yep.
For 8 years.
Okay, that's exactly.
It's 8 years? Okay.
All right. Yeah, this is really going to make a big difference, right? Okay. We have gravity drainage. What's that?
She got a card.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know we had cards on this.
She just put it in.
Okay, Ms. Stengel, please step up, state your name for the record, and proceed. You have 3 minutes.
I'm Jeannie Stengel. I would like a better explanation. Are you saying that you're going to remove the scenic designation from Bayou Liberty? I lobbied hard for this designation for many, many years, to have Bayou Liberty to be a designated scenic stream.
I don't think Bayou Liberty is on it. Is it?
It's the last one.
But it's not. It's probably not the portion you're thinking about. Daniel can come out and explain it better. Do you have the copy?
I know. I mean, I know all of Bayou Liberty. I know it from its origins up by Hickory.
I understand.
All the way to where it joins Bournemouth.
I understand. Daniel, would you like to explain?
Again, I'm gonna apologize on this one. It's not my legislation on it, Senator Bob Owens. So I know if Mary could pull it up and have the list. I know there was portions of Bayou Liberty on it, but not all of it.
But it is portions. I know that for a fact. Because we were concerned about that with Bayou Lacombe as well.
Yes.
It's the portions that get clogged up and that create major drainage problems.
Of course, I do not oppose. I think all of us along Bayou Liberty realize the need
Please, keep it down.
I think all of us realize the need of keeping the channel open for drainage purposes, and I know that even when the legislation was passed, there were portions far upstream, the Salmon Fritchie land, that were held out of the designation. I just needed clarification, that's all.
Well, this is a resolution that goes to Senator Owen. They're working on a state bill. We can definitely get you some more information on that, on the resolution, on all the areas that are being pulled out. But I can tell you, we are very dependent on gravity drainage. We are very flat, and we have a tremendous amount of drainage problems in St. Tammany Parish. So anything that we can do to try to improve those problems, we must do that. We have Mr. Bender in the queue.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Ms. Jeannie, I just wanted to say, I understand your concern, but the way I'm hearing everything, when we have a storm or whatever, we have a tremendous amount of de-snagging that we need to do, okay? And that de-snagging doesn't hurt a bayou, okay? It allows for the proper flow of water, because remember, the bayou has two purposes. A, it's scenic, and we want to keep it scenic, right? You agree?
Well, Jerry, I just wanted clarification.
Okay.
I understand the need to keep the drainage open, and I do
And
not
that's all
oppose
this
that.
is about.
But I would.
Am I right, Mr.
I'm hoping
Chairman?
that the designation is not. This doesn't mean the designation is removed from the bayou.
No.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Not to my knowledge. Is the designation removed?
Perhaps I should check in with Senator
From
Owen.
portions. Yes, ma'am. Oh, Mr. Smith?
Yeah, I was wondering, can we amend this to add to that list? I mean, you know, Senator Owens was presenting to remove from Holmes Bayou, Bradley, Wilson, Morgan, Lacombe, Kane. Can we add to that?
Emily, can we add to that?
Well, it's our resolution we're going to be sending there.
I understand.
I mean, you can send a request that his legislation be amended. I don't know if that's possible at this stage, but this is just a support of his legislation. I have not seen a copy of the legislation, so I'm not sure if it's possible to make that amendment in the legislature at this point in time.
Okay, Mary is saying that we cannot.
All right.
Hold up. Mr. Phillips.
There was a stipulation after 10 years, it reverts back. Did I hear that? Did I hear something with?
That was the Pearl River portion.
Yes,
Just for the Pearl River. That's the only one that's going to revert back in 8 years, just for that one.
Mr. Rowley?
This one last thing, I know Mr. Smith was mentioning about adding, but I think Daniel came up and said the criteria, these were picked based on the criteria, correct?
Thank you for reminding us that, Mr. Rowley.
Yeah, when we were I guess, staff, engineering and public works were asked to review it. We compared it, and I think Ross's group in planning also helped review it. Was the Scenic Rivers Act has a set of 7 criteria that say this is what it's intended for. So we compared that back to things. And if say I pulled up Scenic Rivers map for Councilman Impastato, nowhere else in the state of Louisiana did they just say a waterway in all its tributaries. So everything that could be, possibly connected to it, the Chafuncta River is one of those. So again, nowhere else in the state did they do something like that except the Chafuncta River. But Chafuncta River's tributaries, when you get into certain locations, is ditches. Like it's not, but it's included as part of the scenic river. So so you still have to go through the permitting process and the restrictions of the scenic rivers to clean.
That's what we want to pull.
Yeah, Flowers Bayou is another one. Is a good example. Flowers Bayou was a man-made canal.
And Daniel, don't you still need a permit
Oh
to
yes,
clean these
you'll
things?
still
Can you please
coastal
explain
zone.
that?
You'll still have to get coastal use permits for doing work, as well as core permits for any impacts, environmental impacts for it. So
This is just eliminating one layer to make it easier for us to eliminate some of these drainage maintenance nightmares.
yes.
Okay. All right. Seeing no more discussion, we have a motion to second. Please vote. There's nothing else, right?
The motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
Motion to adjourn. Mr. Bender? Yes. All right. Wrong Bender, though. Thank you.